Hello everyone, and welcome back to On Air with Ben Marco. This week, I've got a game that has a fair amount of hype behind it. No Man's Sky. A space survival exploration game with a whole gigantic galaxy to explore. So, was all that build-up up to this game worth it? Let's find out. First thing that I'm going to talk about, as I should, since it is, an exploration-based game, is naturally the exploration. So, let's go down to a planet, shall we? Basically, the universe is one giant area for you to explore. You can go anywhere and do pretty much anything as long as you can get there. Very nice planet. You do start off the game with a little bit of help from a being called Atlas, who contacts you, gives you a bit of a starting direction, and, gives you some advice on where to go, because your ultimate goal is to reach the center of the galaxy. Now, you can listen to him, as you should for a bit, since it, tells you where to go, gives you advice on how to start, how to get things going. But after a while, you can kind of start safely as ignoring him, as I've started doing here, and just run around and have some fun. Explore the universe. It's out there for you. Go take a look. There's some really cool looking stuff here, too. Let me land and show you. Now, I've been on this planet before. I've observed it before. That hurt. And it's a radiation planet, so the atmosphere is trying to kill me. But this is it. Basically, you run around on planets, explore space, and just run around having some fun. Alright, next thing I'm going to talk about is these, well, for example, what I'm mining right here, iron. You build all of your own upgrades in the game. Every single thing you need for your ship, you build. Every single thing you need for your armor, well, your exosuit, to be exact, you build. Everything you need for your multi-tool, you build yourself. You obviously have to find the blueprints for the upgrades before you can build them, so you can actually get them. But once you find them, they're yours to keep, and you can rebuild them again whenever you want if you have to disassemble them, which is nice. I believe I can actually build something now. Aluminum. I have no free slots. I'll get rid of the thallium. I don't really need it right now. I am going to build better jetpack. Use my resources, and I now have a better functioning jetpack, which will let me fly around for longer, which is very nice and very helpful. So, that's really cool. The second thing is that planets are actually procedurally generated. And it means that no two planets you're going to find are exactly the same. So, you can land on one planet, it could be similar to another, but it'll still have some differences, or it could be something completely and totally different with ridiculously different ecosystem and will be completely and totally something you weren't expecting, which is really, really cool. Now, obviously, you're going to find some planets that are similar. I mean, even with procedural generation, Even with procedural generation, some things are going to be similar, but everything is a bit different at least, so don't have to worry about that too much. And there are alien races in this game, not counting little robot man right here. He's a sentinel. They fly around planets making sure you don't do too much and will start attacking you if you try to mine anything when they're scanning you. So they're just there to make sure that you have some sort of encouragement to not stay in one place for too long. The other thing that I want to talk about, though, is the aliens. I will introduce you to one in a minute, but the very cool thing is... Yep, I learned a new word. You do not have Google Translate installed in your helmet. If you want to learn a new language, you gotta find those stones. More stones, more words, more of the language you know. The better easier you can communicate with the aliens. Which is really, really cool. Not a lot of games do that. I mean, obviously some games do make it so you can't fully understand the aliens, but a lot of games involving aliens, units is the kind of money, involving aliens, you can generally all understand each other from the word go. So this is a very nice and neat change. And all the aliens have their own language, so just because you learn one, doesn't mean you can learn another. Very, very cool in my opinion. Now, unfortunately, for the downsides, as much as I like this game, it is a large-scale exploration game, which means you're going to be doing a lot of running around, mining, flying to new planets, running around and mining some more. It's all very much the same thing. If you like this kind of thing, like I do love this type of thing, it's not going to get very tiring very, very fast. If you don't, you can pretty safely say, nah, no interest, because it's all there is to the game. Exploration, mining, building, just discovery in general. The other thing that I want to talk about that I don't really like about this game is that as gigantic as the universe is, it ultimately feels very, very empty. There's a handful of aliens you can find, but there's rarely more than one or two in any same place at the same time. Which is a shame, because I would love to see a giant alien city or population center, just a town even, for these guys. The most you're going to find are in the space stations. Now, there may be more later in the game, and I haven't gotten there yet, so if that is the case, I highly apologize for being wrong. But up till now, I haven't found more than a handful in any given place. The space stations, for example, seem to be the most heavily populated, with one alien inside, who is through that door, and generally a few landing and taking off every so often. But they tend to just fly in circles around the station before landing again. Which, it's nice. If you want to buy their wares or your ship and you don't have the money at the moment, you can just come back later and they'll still be there. But them warping in and out, new guys coming by every once in a while, would make the universe feel a bit more open and alive. But that's just me. But yeah. Anyway, this is one of the aliens. I have to give him Carbon if he wants to talk to me. And he's a Vy'keen. I have dealt with these guys before. I don't have a huge amount of understanding of their language. I've just learned 2 new words, and he still has no... Oh, yeah, I can learn a new word. And we still have largely no idea what he's trying to say. So, I learned the Vy'keen word for unacceptable. That's all reassuring. But yeah. Anyway, final question is it all worth it? If you like these kinds of games, I'd say so. There's a whole giant galaxy for you to explore, and waiting for you to discover it. There's a ton to see and a lot to discover if you're willing to put the time and effort in. But if you don't, I'll be honest, you can safely pass on this one. It's again, as I said, it's a large-scale exploration game. You fly, you mine, you explore, you go to a new planet, you do it all over again, you go to a new galaxy, repeat. So, if you don't like the sound of that, then you can safely just say no to this one. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. If you have any comments or questions, just email me at bengamer24@gmail.com. This has been On Air with Ben Marco. Thanks for listening, and see you all next time.